How did the Middle East, a region already steeped in complexity and conflict, find itself on the brink of yet another major crisis? In the past couple of years, the Middle East has been a cauldron of escalating tensions and conflicts. Let's take a step back to the summer of 2022. Over a single weekend of violence, more than 40 lives were lost in Gaza. The conflict escalated as Palestinian militants launched rockets towards Jerusalem in response to Israeli airstrikes. This wave of violence led to the tragic loss of many lives, including 15 children. Fast forward to the autumn of 2023 and the situation had worsened. Israel made the decision to invade Gaza. This action sparked concerns among military analysts that the conflict could escalate into a larger regional war. This invasion was a response to a surprise terrorist attack by Hamas on Israel, leading to a series of retaliatory actions resulting in numerous casualties. The situation was further complicated as Hezbollah launched rockets at Israeli positions, and Israeli forces disrupted supplies into Gaza from Egypt. By spring 2024, the situation had reached a new height. Iran launched a retaliatory attack on Israel from Iranian territory. This attack was, however, thwarted as Israel intercepted the majority of the missiles, surprisingly with the help of unexpected allies. Arab states, namely Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, provided intelligence and assistance to Israel during the attack. This incident underscores the complex dynamics in the region, where opposition to Iranian aggression shapes shifting alliances and influences diplomatic relations. The impact of this escalating situation is not just confined to the Middle East, but reverberates across the world, including Africa. The ripple effects of these conflicts can be felt far and wide, affecting economies, politics, and social structures in ways we are just beginning to understand. As we delve deeper into this crisis, remember that the threads of this story are interwoven with the lives of people far beyond the borders of the Middle East. While the Middle East may seem far removed from Africa, the ripple effects of these conflicts have profound implications for the African continent. The economic implications are not to be underestimated. The Middle East is a vital partner to Africa in terms of trade and investment. Unfortunately, the ongoing conflict disrupts these economic ties, leading to increased commodity prices and decreased foreign investments. This can severely impact African economies, especially those heavily reliant on trade with Middle Eastern countries. The refugee crisis is another significant concern. As the violence escalates, more and more people are displaced from their homes, seeking refuge in neighboring countries and beyond. Africa, already grappling with its own internal displacement issues, is now faced with an influx of refugees from the Middle East. This puts additional strain on already stretched resources, escalating humanitarian crises in host countries. The potential for increased terrorism and instability is also a grave concern. Terrorist groups often exploit political unrest and conflict zones to gain power and influence. Africa, with its vast porous borders and areas of weak governance, could become a breeding ground for such activities. This would further destabilize the region and pose a significant security threat. But it's not all doom and gloom. African nations are not standing by idly. They are actively responding to the crisis, leveraging diplomatic channels and contributing to peacekeeping efforts. For instance, Egypt has been instrumental in mediating ceasefires between Israel and Gaza. Moreover, African countries are working tirelessly to provide humanitarian aid and support to refugees. In essence, the crisis in the Middle East isn't just a distant issue for Africa. It's a pressing concern that affects the continent on multiple fronts, from economic stability to humanitarian issues to security concerns. Africans are not just passive observers of the Middle East crisis, but active participants in seeking solutions and mitigating impacts. In a surprising turn of events, Arab states, traditionally seen as adversaries of Israel, unexpectedly assisted Israel in warding off Iran's attack. This is something few could have predicted a few years ago, yet here we are. The dynamics of the region are shifting, and we're witnessing an unprecedented alignment of interests that's reshaping the geopolitical landscape. Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, two major players in the Arab world, have been at the forefront of this shift. Both nations have provided Israel with vital intelligence and assistance, helping them to intercept the majority of missiles launched by Iran. This is a marked departure from past relations, indicating a significant change in regional dynamics. What's driving this change? It's a complex mix of factors. There's a shared concern over Iran's increasing aggression, which has prompted these Arab states to align their interests with Israel, traditionally viewed as an enemy. In the face of a common threat, old enmities are being set aside. Yet, it's not just about security. These Arab states are also navigating a delicate balance between geopolitical interests and public sentiment. The conflicts like the one in Gaza stir strong emotions and opinions. Thus, while these nations may find strategic benefit in cooperating with Israel, they must also be mindful of how their actions resonate with their populace. There's a sense of pragmatism at play here. These Arab states understand that in the complex web of Middle Eastern politics, alliances are often fluid and determined by shifting realities on the ground. It's a game of realpolitik, where national security interests often trump ideological differences. Yet this cooperation with Israel also carries risks. It could complicate these Arab states' efforts to improve relations with Iran, further adding to the intricate and often volatile dynamics of the region. This incident underscores the delicate balance Arab states must navigate between security priorities and public sentiment. As we move forward, it will be fascinating to see how these relationships continue to evolve and shape the future of the Middle East. The current situation in the Middle East is volatile and complex. But what does it mean for the future of the region? The Middle East, a region steeped in history and culture, is no stranger to conflict. Yet the present situation, marked by escalating tensions and shifting alliances, carries implications that may shape the region for years to come. One potential future scenario is the escalation of conflict into a wider regional war. This is an alarming prospect, considering the involvement of powerful actors such as Iran and Israel. As we've seen in recent events, the situation can spiral quickly, potentially involving neighboring countries and leading to a multi-front conflict. This could destabilize the region further and have far-reaching effects on global politics and economies. However, even in the face of adversity, there is always room for hope and change. Another potential scenario is the normalization of relations between Arab states and Israel. This might seem unlikely given the long-standing animosities and the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict, but recent events have shown us that the dynamics in the region are complex and ever-changing. In an unprecedented move, Arab states like Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates have assisted Israel in intercepting an attack from Iran. This cooperation, born out of a common opposition to Iranian aggression, might pave the way for a shift in alliances, potentially leading to normalization of relations. The question remains though, can this cooperation extend beyond common security threats to address the deeply rooted issues that have fueled conflicts for decades? Could it lead to a more peaceful Middle East, where dialogue replaces conflict and cooperation supersedes division? The future remains uncertain, but one thing is clear. The need for diplomatic efforts and peace-building has never been more urgent. As we navigate these turbulent times, let's remember that it is in our collective interest to foster stability and peace in this pivotal region of the world. In these uncertain times, reliable and insightful reporting is more important than ever. This is where View Africa News steps in, committed to delivering accurate and comprehensive coverage of international news. Our platform serves as a beacon of trust, providing unbiased, in-depth analysis of the events that shape our world, from the heart of Africa to the far reaches of the globe. In the midst of the ongoing crisis in the Middle East, View Africa News has been at the forefront, offering a unique perspective on the unfolding events. Our dedicated team of journalists and analysts work round the clock, delving into the complexities of the situation and bringing to light the implications for Africa and the world at large. Our commitment goes beyond merely reporting the news. We aim to empower our audience with knowledge, providing context and understanding to the headlines. The Middle East crisis, for instance, is not just a distant conflict. Its ripple effects touch the lives of Africans in myriad ways, from economic implications to the displacement of people. At View Africa News, we ensure that these connections are clearly drawn, providing a holistic picture of global events. But our role doesn't stop at informing. We believe in fostering dialogue, in igniting conversations that matter. Our platform serves as a space for our audience to engage with the news, to voice their thoughts, and to gain insights from different perspectives. In doing so, we hope to contribute to a more informed and engaged Africa. View Africa News is more than a news platform. It is a commitment to truth, a commitment to understanding, and a commitment to our audience. In a world where information is as crucial as it is abundant, We strive to be a reliable, insightful, and accessible source. For more information and international news, follow View Africa News. Together, we can navigate the complexities of our world.